All right. Hello, everybody. Today I just wanted to chat about some ideal protein sources, which is a challenge, especially if you're a vegetarian or vegan. Uh, it is a challenge to find uh, protein when you're excluding a bunch of proteins, right? So this is a challenge that I have every day when I work with folks, and I just wanted to do a quick little search and find some of the better proteins out there. But let me share my screen for a moment and just kind of go over the ones that are, generally the ones that I recommend. Let me just go to my meal plan real quick here. All right. Let me. This is a document that I often recommend to my clients here. So I have broken up um, protein, carbs, and fats. I'm just going to focus on the proteins here. These are the proteins that I recommend early on in the journey when people work with me. Um, there's a lot of animal proteins here, right? So this is not going to be effective for vegetarians or vegans, all right? But you'll see, I'm going to just read them off here. Anchovies, which I don't eat those. I don't eat half of these things myself. So when people often look at this list, they're like, oh my God, I only eat two or three of those. And then my response is, great. At least you eat two to three. It makes it a little bit easier. So, um, we just need to find proteins that you will eat first of all, and then maybe over time we can expand the palate. But these are some of the ones that are on my anti-inflammatory program on my first 4 weeks of my journey with clients for the most part. Anchovies, black cod, clams, duck, goose, herring, mollusk. Again, I really don't eat any of those. The rest of it, I do. I eat lots of chicken. I eat lamb once in a while. I don't think I've ever had a pheasant. I don't even know what a pollock is. Scallops, once in a while.
Pollock is a
Venison.
kind of fish.
Yeah, I figured that. Yeah, I've never seen, I don't have no idea what it looks like. Um, Scallops, venison, oysters, bison, wild salmon, and turkey. So for the most part, my diet, when I follow this anti-inflammatory nutrition program, revolves around ground turkey or turkey as a whole, ground or roast turkey, wild salmon or smoked salmon. I absolutely love bison, and I do like lamb. Just don't eat it that much. Lamb is probably arguably the healthiest animal you can find. Um, and then pretty good amount of chicken. Those are going to be my sources. And then when I'm not on the anti-inflammatory program, I'm going to eat more beef, probably a couple times a week, grass-fed beef. I'm going to eat a pork source that's free of hormones and antibiotics. I'll have eggs when I'm not on the anti-inflammatory program. Beans once in a while. So that's when we get into the vegetarian protein sources. Legumes, which could be, chickpeas, black beans, pinto beans, all the different beans. And then we have lentils, which are a pretty good amount of protein. It could be raw dairy, which I recommend over pasteurized dairy. I just had a good talk with a lady yesterday, a farmer who raises grass-fed cows, and she was going into differences between A1 and A2 cows. So there's a whole thing there. Apparently, we want to choose not only raw dairy sources, but if we're going to eat um, beef, it should be or drink the milk from these cattle. It should be from uh, A2 cows, which is a whole genetic thing. It's nothing about what they ate. It's about how they're bred, apparently. So I just had a little lesson on that yesterday from a raw farmer. That's pretty interesting. So A2 is ideal. Um, so anyway, those are some different protein sources. Now, those are the ones that I recommend. And then there's little amounts of protein in things like nuts and seeds and things like that. All right, so we have our protein sources. Ideally, general rule of thumb, we want to get about 30 grams of protein minimum in our 3 to 4 meals. So 30 grams, that would be minimum for most people. That's about 90 grams. That's for a female, generally speaking. Male, you're going to want more. An equation you can do is take your weight. So let me take out my calculator here. So this is my, so if you have a calculator, so take my weight, I'm about 168, I think, times 0.6. That's the minimum amount of protein that I would, which comes near that 90 grams, right? So 3 meals, about 90 grams of protein. Sorry, 30 grams of protein each meal. If you eat 4 meals, spread it out into more. Ideally, though, if you're working out, you probably are going to need more, given the breakdown of muscle tissue when we work out. And if we're not eating protein, that means we're pretty much eating more carbs and more fat. So we can only tolerate so many carbs. So we do need protein, just given the fact that most people cannot tolerate as many carbs as they would like. So this is my number, 100 to about 134. So if I broke up 134, let's say I eat 4 meals a day, I would want to have 33 grams of protein. See how that works out? So 4 meals, 33 grams. Now, again, that's not easy though. Um, but that's just what you want to think about it. So that's our protein needs. And again, this is just an example of some ideas. Now, we can get we can go to various sources here, like like how do we get easy protein sources now? Well, let me just say from this stuff here. So taking a look at the list here. So the easiest thing I have found to get protein sources is this. That's most economical and controllable. I like to control my food. So what I like to do is, for example, take turkey. I get it at Costco. It's probably one of the cheaper places to get it. Ground turkey, and I cook it in I saute it. Very simple to cook. It takes a very short period of time, um, and it's generally always in a refrigerator. We even give it to our dog. So like we give our dog now turkey. We were giving her beef, but we've taken a break on beef. I think she was developing some beef sensitivities. Whether a dog or human, if you eat the same foods all the time, you will create some reactivities, sensitivities, and tolerances. And our vet told us that same thing about our dog. Stop giving your dog beef. All right. So so we went to Turkey, which is a little bit more money. We haven't ventured into bison for our dog yet, but I think we'll probably not do that one. A little too expensive, but ground turkey. Consider ground lamb, ground beef. The ground meats are going to be the easiest ways to have food just ready to go, and that's kind of the key. Just needs to be ready to go, quick and easy. Keep it simple. Pork you could also get. Even Safeway has ground pork. Right. So those are 4 quick ways to get easy protein. And then what we can do is put that protein on various things. We can take any of those, whether it be ground turkey, ground beef, ground bison, ground pork, and throw it on a salad. We can take that and throw it in a meat sauce. And we can throw that on some gluten-free pasta or some um, noodles that look like pasta, but they're not pasta, right? Um, like zucchini squash noodles or something like that. Or I often will throw in those types of things into a cassava flour tortilla. That's a vehicle for me. Cassava flour tortilla, like the ones from La Tortilla Factory. You could throw it on a rice cake. So you could throw it on a lot of things. You could theoretically throw it on oatmeal in the morning. So you could have oatmeal for your carb, and you can throw some kind of ground thing on top of that to balance those carbs and get your protein. So lots of ways to make that happen. You could just have a salad, just throw it on the salad, right? Which is what I'll do quite often. So anyway, so those are some different protein sources. Those are the ones I choose to buy quicker. I will often buy a rotisserie chicken out and about. I will buy one at Costco. I'll buy one at Whole Foods. It is nice to have a pre-cooked thing. Ideally, if you're making your own rotisserie chickens, which you could buy and make yourself, you could use those bones and make bone broth as well. So hopefully we can use that whole chicken. So those are just a few ideas. Okay. Um, you'll see here that we have some recommendations for protein powders. So these are some of the ones I recommend um, in the beginning. So when people work with me, I like this product. There's a lot of science behind it. Metagenics makes a pea-based protein. So I often recommend this called Ultra Meal Advanced. And I have a coupon code for anybody that wants it, but it comes in chocolate, it comes in vanilla and plain. This is going to be another easy model for getting more protein in. And you see how it says it's a clinical company. It says support for nutritional management of sarcopenia. Anybody know what that means? It means a loss of muscle. So as we get older, we get muscle loss. And muscle loss leads to a reduction in your metabolism. Also, it affects your blood sugar balance as well. There's a lot of glucose metabolism that occurs in skeletal muscle, we're finding out now. So the importance of strength training is huge and maintaining your muscle mass, especially when you're trying to uh, lose weight. Often people lose weight because they don't eat enough calories and they're not doing enough strength training or hard enough strength training. They don't maintain their muscles when they're cutting their calories. So this has been proven in research to help with that. It has amino acids and it says 21 grams of protein, which it says 17 grams here, which I'm at a loss. It says each serving provides 21 grams of protein, but it says 17 in the ingredients. So I'm a little bit confused on that. I've never noticed that before. Um, 10 grams consists of the essential amino acids, including 5 grams of branched chain amino acids. To figure out that a little bit more. What I do know is I've been using this for about 20 years now, and it's got a lot of vitamins and minerals and all these amino acids, which help with the building blocks of muscle. And it really, my clients do extremely well on it, and they all like it. My only problem is this. It's only got 17 grams of protein. So that's kind of my big issue with it. And it has 10 grams of carbs. But at the end of the day, if you notice, if you can see it, it's kind of small. It's got 10 grams of carbs, but 5 of those grams are from fiber. So the net carbohydrates are 5. So not too bad in 2 scoops of protein. So 5 net grams. Again, love the product and just wanted to share that with you because I have another one to share as well. Um, but that is one option. So I'm a big fan of smoothies. I have a ton of smoothie recipes. If you want some, let me know. If you want this product, let me know. I'll give you a discount code. All right. But here's another product. I was just researching this. So they have another product here which is similar. It is called, it's not here. Why is it not here? Protein. Protein. Yeah, I don't recommend the bars. Bars are not the best. Way too many carbs. Let me just look at it again. I haven't looked at these in a while. There's a reason I didn't like them. I don't remember what it was. Yeah. Um, so this one's got partially hydrolyzed milk protein. Not generally a fan of milk proteins. It's got peanut butter, it's got cane sugar, sunflower oil. Yeah, I'm not a fan. So we can do better. I'm more of a fan of the Aloha bars. I just don't. It's okay. We get a little bit of protein, but not my favorite. Let's see here. Sure, it's good though. Anything with peanut butter is good. But if you're gonna get the peanut butter ones, get the Aloha bars. Can't go wrong, right? Why is it not showing up? Pea protein. I just sent this to you, Rupali and Arparna.
It did show. Yeah, here you
There
go.
it is. Yep. So this is the one I was looking at today. I used to buy this. I forget about things. I definitely like the other one. So and then that so the more I look at that, the more it is pretty good. This is just a little bit different. It's really not that much different. Same company. Um, I mean, it's got 3 more grams of protein. I mean, it's not that much different, and it's got, you know, 4 grams of net carbs. So they're very similar. The more I look at it. Um, but they're trying to figure out. So there's just a little bit less carbs on this guy. I think it's really more about just taste. But they're both clean. They're both the same company. Like they're competing against each other. Interestingly enough, um, this one has monk fruit as a sweetener and a little bit of stevia,
Yeah.
but very very similar. So this one comes in chocolate rice as well. So all of these are fine. They're all made by the same company, by the same researcher. The guy's name is Dr. Jeffrey Bland at Metagenics. And by the way, these guys do Metagenics. Most people don't know this, but these guys are the ones that do most of the research in the industry, and everybody else copies them. So, um, like Metagenics only sells to functional med doctors, nutritionists, chiropractors, anybody with a license of some sort. And yeah, they do research. They have a whole research lab. And then what other companies do is they take their products and their research, and then they make their own stuff. So it's pretty interesting. And so something to think about. But yeah, that's a company there, a product there. Another one I was looking at for again, I'm careful on dairy. I they used to have a there, I used to recommend whey protein quite a bit, but as I started doing more food allergy testing or food sensitivity testing, I noticed that dairy would pretty much show up on everybody, 9 out of 10 people. But if we don't eat it every day and we get good sources, it probably won't happen. One source that I've kind of gone away from, but especially for vegetarians to consider, is a product called Whey Cool to alternate. I recommend this like every 3 to 4 days or so. I do highly recommend not eating, whatever I just showed, 2 different pea rice protein that I like. I recommend don't eat those same things every day. Don't eat the same things every day. And I got to tell myself that as well. I like another product, which I didn't even show. I'll show in a moment, but it's a grass-fed beef product. That's my favorite, pure paleo, it's called. I tend to eat that way too much because I love it. I need to follow my own advice, but it's hard sometimes when you really love things. Um, but it's really good idea to alternate things. So this is a way cool consideration. Um, so this is a dairy-based product. And when you're looking at whey proteins, ideally, if you don't want to buy this one, try to find one that says whey protein concentrate. Concentrate. Look at the ingredients. Want to make sure there's no erythritol in it. Erythritol has recently been shown to lead to stroke, heart attack, and blood clots. So a lot of the keto-based products and sugar-free products have those in them. I would not recommend those now. Protein again is 20 grams, so that would be good. And that's in 1 scoop. So 1 scoop, there's 30 servings. So that would be another thing to consider. Again, I would eat it about this whey protein. I probably go about every 3 to 4 days. But there is a lot of like research around whey and especially in the sports performance space to maintain and build muscle. I mean, it
Mm.
may cause some digestive issues, but the research really says, it's like the number one product. They are not a fan, like in terms of sports performance, they are not a fan of pea and rice-based proteins. So whey protein is still the number one source of protein among athletes. I'm just concerned about gut health. So um, I think probably the grass-fed beef would be my number one. If you're eating beef, I would probably alternate with the the whey protein and the pea would be great. If you could buy three. I know it sounds like a lot of money to buy, but it's the same at the end of the day. It's just more of a cost output in the beginning, right? Just spreading it out. But it's the same thing I would do with chicken. I would need chicken every day. I'd go chicken Monday, ideally, turkey the next day or so, fish the next day, lamb the next day. Just keep rotating. Same thing with your nuts. Try to go like pecans one day, walnuts the next day. Just don't eat trail mixes. And I guarantee your gut's going to feel a lot better and your skin's going to feel better, you'll be better. So many different benefits of rotating your foods and you won't be bloated and gassy, most likely, and you won't have food sensitivities. So those are the key things. I think I was just going to show the Pure Paleo product. So Pure Paleo, this is the one that I tend to eat the most often. Again, I do too much of it. This comes in unflavored, so there's no stevia in the unflavored, which Designs for Health does a good job of having unflavored products, whether grass-fed beef or not. The pea-based ones
Mm.
should be the same, but we'll just use this as well. Um, like a handful of people just don't like anything stevia-based. A lot of people don't like stevia, but they actually deal with this pretty good. So this has 21 grams of protein, and you can see here it's just there is no carbohydrates, barely 4 grams. Um, Ingredients: stevia, bone broth product. It's totally fine. So probably the cleanest of the bunch of products. I know not everybody does beef, but is probably my number one source. And the
Mhm.
other one that I highly recommend is the collagen product as well. Whole body collagen. You've heard me mention before, I'm not a fan of Vital Collagen, but because I've seen so many people be constipated on it. But this is 11 grams of protein here. And again, not a vegetarian source. There is no vegetarian collagens because it's not physically possible. So, um, but yeah, those are some of the things. And whole body collagen really helps with joint health, skin, hair, nails. My mother even sells a skin-based collagen in her dermatology clinic for skin. It's definitely all the rage right now. Seems like everybody's buying the Vital collagen. So that's a little bit about protein, and then we can get some easy travel stuff. We went over that as well. Like I'm just going to use Thrive as a model here. They have this stuff uh, at Whole Foods or whatever, but like just an example, I tend to buy a lot of my stuff from these guys because it's less expensive, but like Safe Catch tuna. So that could be a protein source. I'm using that as an example, but it could be, I like Safe Catch tuna because it's lower in mercury, as it says here. I've never seen any other company do that. It is the only brand to test every tuna for mercury. I learned about this on the Shark Tank, actually. So these guys are from the Shark Tank. Um, but yeah, I mean, this, can of tuna, just for curiosity, and not that we want to eat tuna very often either, but can of tuna is what? 28 grams in a can of tuna. A lot of people don't know, but an egg is 7 grams. It's only 7 grams.
Mm.
So if you want 30 grams of protein, you need 4 eggs. I see a lot of people with 2 eggs, having 1 to 2 eggs for breakfast. It's not enough. So, um, and this could be a can of wild salmon. There's probably some other ideas here, I imagine. Usually they have, there it is. Yep, I knew they would. Good marketing. So yes, wild pink salmon. I've never had this, but again, for you vegetarians that eat fish, pescatarians, this could be a good source for you. Let's find out the protein. Same thing, 28 grams. So Rupali,
Yeah,
Aparna, uh, what do you think? Will you eat this?
I I don't eat.
Come on. All right. So hey, just have a can. Try it. Come on.
Mm-mm, nah.
Sustainably wild caught without lines. It's good. Um, Well, I'm gonna try this. It's only $3.99. Look at that. That's actually a pretty good deal. Think about it. Think about like a serving of fish. It's pretty expensive usually, like especially at a restaurant. You're looking at a minimum. Now, I'd say $20, right, for a serving of fish. This is $4. Not bad. Um, and then yeah, there's other things as well from a fish standpoint. I can't eat them, but sardines. Marsha, can you do sardines?
No.
Yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, you can see this one's kind of interesting too. Wild Planet. So this is a pouch. It's kind of convenient. 18 grams of protein and you always want to look at servings. Like one serving per container is 18 grams, 3 ounces. So wait a minute, I'm even confused right now. Oh, okay, so there's three. Yeah, it's only 3 ounces. Got it. So one serving. So that has 18 grams of protein. Okay. Um, but yeah, sardines are another thing. Again, not my thing, but some people like them. What else? There is chicken here. Can I ideally wouldn't eat a lot of canned chicken, but yeah, could be good to have in our earthquake resource area, right?
Yep.
Yep. I know Marcia's got a whole thing there. Another thing here, salmon bites. Sounds disgusting, but maybe. Um, wild mackerel sounds even more disgusting. Does that sound good to anybody? I don't know. Yes. And then we have actually, you can actually buy fish there too. I never buy frozen food from these guys, but um, their prices are definitely something that are typically low. And when you like, yeah, 776 reviews. So, yeah, I don't know what that price point is, but generally their prices are pretty good. And then if you go auto ships, you get about a 10% discount. I kind of think of Thrive as kind of like Trader Joe's, but healthy. Because Trader Joe's is not healthy. But yeah, I mean, it's all convenient foods that Thrive too, but it's actually relatively healthy. The buyers are probably very similar to me, and those at Whole Foods that would find higher quality things. Like this looks interesting. Just I'm totally deviating now. I'm just curious. This is what I do at the store. It takes me a long time to shop. I get caught up in things, but like rice cauliflower, interesting. Not bad. 2 ingredients, 3,000 reviews. Not bad. May have to try that. $3. All right, back to protein. So, other things I have found in the past are jerky bites and things like that. So just check those out. Again, not going to be for you, Rupali, um,
Yeah.
but but yeah, they do have. I mean, actually, probably. So these are if you just type in jerky bikes, they will have various things for. I'm thinking for travel for a lot of folks, but yeah, that may be right here. Mushroom jerky. That has vegan written all over it right there. So made with shiitake mushrooms. Interesting. What does that have in it? So
Too many things.
1 gram of protein. Not so good. Um, but yeah, so there is some other ideas though. You can find the turkey sticks now. They have salmon sticks. They have all kinds of different sticks you can put in your purses, your office, your car. But let's type in vegetarian. Veg, vegetarian protein. Let's try it. I got some pretty good search filters here. High protein vegetarian. Yep. So here's a little more specific. So this is probably a good one for you, um, Rupali.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just I'm gonna send that search to you real quick here. I think
Okay.
maybe let me find out. I lost my search bar. Hold on. Oh, there it is. So here's the search, but again, it's Thrive Market. Again, I'm a big fan. So Aloha bars, definitely my favorite bars. Again, they don't have a ton of protein. I think they get about 14 grams of protein.
Yeah.
Um, Protein puffs sounds processed and interesting. Um, let's see. Always curious. I'm in the wrong business. I shouldn't make a protein source. Um,
Mm.
7 grams of protein in these puffs, but you got to be careful because you're going to get
More
11
from
grams of carbs with the 7 grams. So that's where you kind of this gets a little problematic. And then ingredient wise, it's not terrible, but I'm not a fan of sunflower, safflower oil. I really don't want yeast as well in my food. Um, yeah. So again, I'm looking at these ingredients. Like we get caught up by things like protein and 3 grams of fiber, which is not a lot. Plant-based, right? Could sound good depending on if you wanted to be a plant-based person. But so don't let these things get caught or throw you off emotionally. We do have to look. Here's a product here. I've never tried it. Protein source, chocolate,
Mm.
plant-based proteins. Again, I like to look at things quite often because new things come out all the time. There is a rage right now of mushrooms. Anybody seen the rage of everybody's talking about the benefits of mushrooms. So these are different mushrooms here. They're adaptogens. Question
Mm.
is, are they actually doing you any good in the process form that we're getting them in? Don't know. Um, that looks pretty good though. 22 grams of protein, 9 grams of net carbs, chocolate. It's got coconut milk. The sugar is coming from the coconut palm sugar. Um, that could be
Mm.
something to consider. Don't know. A lot of mushrooms, but yeah, mushrooms are all the rage.
Mm.
41 people say it's pretty good. Something to consider for again, as I mentioned, it's good to mix things up. So maybe that's a part of your rotation as well. One day a week we do some kind of processed mushrooms. I don't know. But there'll be others. Here's it's got even more reviews. Well-made protein powder, 21 grams of protein. And this has Sacha Inchi, and I've heard of that as well. You ever heard of that one, Rupali?
No.
Yeah, so I've heard of that. It's got bromelain. Bromelain actually helps you break it down, by the way. Bromelain's
Mm.
extracted from pineapples, but
Mm.
again, not too bad. It's pretty good. Low carbs. Again, I don't know anything about it. I mean, that's kind of where we are right now. There's nobody like unlike Metagenics, all of us on this call could come up with a product and just start throwing stuff in, and we can even make up some stuff on the labels too. Like it's not 100% accurate that there's 21 grams of protein. There's nobody checking this stuff. So maybe, could be, but just know it. Take everything with a grain of salt. Um, Anybody can come up with a product and make a label nowadays. So, but try it, check it out. Um,
Mm.
but yeah, you could see this in other stores. Ideally try to stay away from peanuts. I'm not a big fan of vegan products just because they have 8 million things in it. I know it's very, very popular product, but if you look at the amount of things in it from a marketing standpoint, it's a great idea. They're doing really well, but um, there's just a lot of stuff in here. And again, I would
Mm.
rather have less ingredients than more overall because I don't want to eat the same stuff every day. I really don't want to eat, like strawberries year round as an example, or I don't want to have pumpkin seeds every day in my protein smoothie. So anyway, just something to think about. But that's kind of their model. They try to throw the whole house in this. They want to get as much nutrition as possible. It's kind of like the multivitamin approach. I'm just going to throw a lot of everything in there, but nothing. There's not going to be a lot of, like for example, magnesium. There will be a little bit of magnesium in a multi, but not nearly the amount that you need, or vitamin D. If you're on a budget and you can only afford one thing, probably not a bad idea. Garden of
But
Life is another interesting company. What was that?
no, there was a pasta banza. I think I saw there is a pasta protein based.
Check it out. Yep. So it's just Garden of Life. I kind of like. They've been around for a while. Reputable functional med doctor who owns that company. So pasta. Oh, I'm all over the place. Let's see. Where'd I go? Forward, back. I think I lost it. Okay, let's go back.
I think it's made out of chickpea flour.
Or yeah,
This one,
where?
banza. Banza.
Huh?
Yeah, this is
Oh,
pasta.
Bonds.
Yeah, pasta. Yeah.
Yeah.
How's it?
All
Is it?
right. Check it out. Check it out. Um, yeah, all of those are very different. These all tend to be really difficult to digest. I've
Okay.
tried a lot of these different pastas over the years, like lentil pasta. I've just always left feeling very bloated, gassy. So again, it could be fine, but so you just got to you got to keep in mind that in order to get a chickpea, which we've seen, we know what chickpeas are,
Yeah.
into the form of a pasta, there's got to be some processing that goes on, right? So just kind of keep in mind that when it comes to all of this stuff, right? We're looking at a company that makes its money off of packaging foods, right? So consider these foods to use as emergencies. If we could eat more whole natural foods and we can be in charge of the processing, the heating of the food, it's probably going to be better, right?
Mhm.
If anything can stay in a box this long, like forever, it's probably not something we should eat all the time. Like just kind of think about it logically. I mean, it's great. I'm just throwing that out there as before I even get into the ingredients. Like 647 reviews. It sounds like a great idea. I mean, from a from a marketing standpoint, this is an awesome idea. Let's make a vegetarian product that's gluten free. 23 grams of protein. I mean, it sounds outstanding, right? But I just, I'm pretty certain I am not going to feel good on this. But yeah, so try it. It's not too expensive, right? It's $3. This is even more
Yeah.
scary. You're taking chickpeas and making it into made with chickpea powder. So they're, somehow dehydrating the chickpeas, making it into a powder. But yeah, I just want you to think about how you feel, right?
Yeah.
Don't just look at the ingredients. I do look at ingredients, but then after we solidify, okay, that looks pretty healthy. Looks good enough, and it is. Um, I mean, it's simple. Chickpeas, awesome. Tapioca, all right. Pea protein they added, and then my only problem is xanthan gum. People are going to have
Mm.
some GI issues with the various gums, but again, hey, try it out once in a while. 13 grams of protein in 2 ounces. Yeah. Um, Something to try. But I've just tried a lot of these different ones. So 2 times protein. So yeah, um, 23 grams. Yeah, you have to eat a lot of pasta in order to get 23 grams. Um,
Yeah.
yes.
But
Well,
it
it
has
says 2 ounce.
carbs, lots of carbs.
Oh yeah, yeah. So now, we look a little closer now, right? So 2 ounces is 13 grams. 2 ounces is not going to be that much either, right? It's pretty small. That's in dry. So 2 ounces dry. So you're probably going to still be hungry after that, I imagine. But again, if you had some other things, that'd be good. some more fat, in there, like a marinara sauce, and maybe some if you do goat cheese or some kind of raw cheese. But it's got 32 grams minus 5, so we got 27 grams of carbs. So now if
Wow.
you ate if you had 2 servings of that, right? That's 4 ounces. You're going to have like 56 grams of carbs and 26 grams of protein. So you see how out of balance that is?
Yeah.
So that kind of gets a little bit high. I would rather go with um, some kind of like spiralizer noodle, like zucchini noodles, or the angel hair. What's it called? The artichoke pasta stuff. Artichoke. What's it called? Artichoke. Paul Mini. That's what it's called. So I would rather do that and add my protein source in. This has got 0 carbs. This and these are all the different companies that have gluten-free uh, noodles, and some are no carbs, some are just different sources. This is a brown rice product, but these have virtually 0 carbohydrates. Never tried lasagna. That'd be interesting. Anybody ever tried that? Hearts of palm lasagna. I've tried the spaghetti. It's fine. It is actually pretty good to combine like a. I like to combine a little bit of the um, rice pastas in combination with the hearts of palm. It does make it a little more palatable. If you have certain sauces like a marinara sauce, pesto sauce, and you're having other things with it, it's going to definitely taste better. By itself, it's not that great. Um, but they have, but if you look at the ingredients, there's not much here. So 20 calories and 1 gram of protein. Um, so it's a great little alternative pasta source. But I would rather go that and add real beans on top of it to get my protein. Like if you're going to go lentils or something like that combined, something you can make a lasagna with this maybe and add some beans and cheese. I don't know, it could be interesting. So those are the protein sources I wanted to show you guys. I deviated into some low carb choices here, but any questions at all? Thoughts?
Yep.
Uh huh. Uh huh. All right. Well, that's our protein sources. So I'm going to stop the video here. And if anybody has any questions, let me know. And remember, I can give you discount codes on Metagenics Designs for Health products as well. And if you're interested in Thrive, I actually have a discount code for you there too. So let me know.